Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic back once again with another WWE Network special. This time, get your Jeff Hardy sleeves on because it's time to get extreme with Extreme Rules. One big talking point heading into this show, really, which was that only one of the matches had an official stipulation, an Extreme Rules match. Apart from that, just a bunch of normal matches, tag matches, singles, you know, the sort of thing. But how was the show? Well, it's time to find out. So join me on a lovely recapping journey as we take a look at everything that happened on the show. This is what happened at Extreme Rules 2021. One or two things to report on the pre-show. We get a AJ Styles and Omos promo backstage, and then they are interrupted by the New Day, who are just being cheeky lads, just dancing around, having a great time, but it's all an ambush set by the heels as Bobby Lashley jumps them, and it leads to a big old brawl. Then, a match gets booked for the main card, a six-man tag, AJ Styles, Omos, and Bobby Lashley taking on all three members of the New Day. And also just one pre-show match to talk about, a match that seemingly was bumped from the main card to the pre-show, unfortunately for the women involved, Carmella versus Liv Morgan. Carmella cuts a heel promo before this match saying that she's really beautiful and that Liv Morgan's not. And I'm thinking, oh yes, famously unattractive person, Liv Morgan. Yes, that's really good. That's really good storytelling there. Well done, WWE. I mean, what hope have the rest of us got? I might as well never leave my house again. But regardless, it doesn't matter because after a spirited performance, Liv Morgan picks up the big victory. In front of a very hot crowd, I have to say. They were really up for this pre-show match. Fair play to them. The first match on the main portion of the show is that match that was set up on the pre-show. New Day taking on AJ Styles, Omos, and Big Bad Bobby Lashley. AJ starts the match for the heel team and does pretty well. He gets the better of Kofi and Woods, but he wants Big E to tag in and immediately gets dealt with. Big E wants Lashley to tag in, so Lashley does take that offer, and Big E's sort of dominating with the help of his boys, the New Day, but the heels soon take control of the match and beat down Kofi Kingston for quite a long heat segment. Kofi eventually gets the hot tag to Xavier Woods, who steps in the ring with Bobby Lashley and takes it to him. He's obviously had his berries and cream this morning. Lashley fights back, but Woods kicks out of the Dominator and gets the hot tag to Big E. Big E runs wild on AJ Styles, and he and Kofi hit a big double team move, but Lashley breaks up the pinfall attempt. Kofi then goes for a big dive to the outside, but Omos is there, he's in this match as well by the way, and counters it with a big chop. Lashley back inside the ring looks to finish Big E off, but then we get a bit of miscommunication. That's because on the apron, AJ Styles blind tags himself in and goes for the phenomenal forearm. As he does so, Lashley blind tags himself back in. AJ misses the forearm, Lashley is now the legal man and accidentally takes out his own partner with a big spear. Lashley's all confused and distracted, like why was AJ there, why was he in the way, and that leaves the door open for Big E to hit the big ending and pick up the big babyface victory. This was a good match. It was kind of the sort of six-man tag you'd see on a typical episode of Raw or SmackDown, but it was a nice feel-good babyface win to kick off the show. Also, a bit of a bold booking decision in my opinion as well, because I was convinced that AJ Styles would be taking the pinfall here, but instead they decided to have Big E pin Bobby Lashley. Very interesting. Next up, it's the SmackDown Tag Team title match between the Usos and the Street Profits. The challengers start off in control, but Montez Ford's ribs are heavily taped up after tangling with Roman Reigns and the Usos on this past week's SmackDown. The Usos start to take control and rip the bandages off, and Ford has to struggle and reach for the hot tag and can't quite get it several times, while Pat McAfee loses his mind about this on commentary. Like he's saying, so close, so close. That's my attempt at a Pat McAfee impression. Finally, he does get the hot tag to Angelo Dawkins, who retakes control of the match, then tags Ford back in for a huge blockbuster off the top rope with added DX crotch chop thrown into the mix. Ford goes for his massive frog splash but gets knees from Jey Uso. Then they roll each other up I wrote in my notes they roll each other up for near falls, but it's auto-corrected to they roll each other up for meatballs. Jey hits a super kick on Dawkins and Jimmy hits the top rope splash, but Dawkins kicks out, so the Usos drag him outside of the ring and beat him up. But here comes Montez Montez Ford with an insane dive over the ring post to wipe out the Usos. Back in the ring, he connects with the frog splash to Jay, but his ribs are sore and he can't make the cover quite in time. Jimmy gets back in the ring and breaks it up at 2. A double super kick to Angelo Dawkins knocks him off the apron, and now Montez Ford is isolated. He also takes a double super kick and the double splash, and the Usos retain. At first, I thought this match was going to suffer because it was a bit of a formulaic tag match, which followed a similar layout to the previous tag match we've just seen, but this match really escalated in the second half, and it was an especially awesome performance from Montez Ford, who surely must be a future star. Next, we have the Raw Women's Championship match between the champion, the Queen, Charlotte Flair, and the challenger, hometown hero, Alexa Bliss. Bliss gets a very good reception from the Columbus, Ohio crowd and starts off the match strong. She goes for the DDT early on, but Charlotte slips out. Charlotte takes control of the match, grinding Bliss down, although at one stage, Bliss hits a nasty head scissors and Charlotte's face slams into the canvas. A little while later, Charlotte goes for the moonsault, but Bliss kicks her in the face on the way down and hits the code red for a great near fall, but the best is yet to come. That's because straight after that, they have an excellent exchange. Bliss goes for Twisted Bliss, but misses. Charlotte goes for the figure 8, but Bliss rolls her up for 2, then hits the DDT, but Charlotte gets her foot on the ropes. Yeah, really nice exchange of moves here. Charlotte grabs Lily from the ring post and distracts Bliss by throwing Lily at her, then hits the big boot and then natural selection for the 1-2-3. Charlotte retains, but it's not over yet. After the bell, she kicks Alexa out of the ring and tears apart Lily the puppet. No, how can you do such a thing? Bliss is enraged, leaps on Charlotte's back and starts beating her down, but Charlotte fights back and throws Bliss over the announce table. She then leaves with her title, but it's not over yet. That's because Bliss comes back from behind the announce table and is furious. She gets in the ring and cradles the pieces of Lily, and she's screaming and she's on the verge of tears and she's angry and upset, and the crowd chant, "Thank you, Lily," which, I mean, that's absolutely genius. This goes on for quite an uncomfortably long time as Bliss just cries and screams and walks up the ramp slowly, and she's meant to be foaming at the mouth, I think, because she opens her mouth at one stage and you can see like a capsule in there. I think she was meant to bite down on it a bit more to really get that foamy effect going. But, you know, generally, I got the point of what they were trying to do. But as I say, it just went on for an uncomfortably long time. What does this mean for the future of, you know, Lily? Will there be a replacement puppet? Will the gimmick go away, or will it get even more twisted and vengeful? We'll have to wait and see. Now we have the triple threat match for the United States Championship. Damian Priest defending against not just Sheamus, but Jeff Hardy as well. No, everyone. No more words. Sheamus immediately takes out Jeff and says, no, it's me and you, Priest, it's me and you. And then they do brawl for a bit, but Jeff gets involved and things develop into kind of your standard triple threat formula, for now at least, for the start of the match. By that, I mean it's a series of one-on-one encounters with the third man resting outside of the ring, but things get a little bit more interesting when Priest steals one of Sheamus's signature moves, hitting him with those big clubs to the chest, but this time facing into the ring. Whoa. Jeff takes over with a double whisper in the wind. Whoa, so whispery. But Sheamus hits him with an Alabama slam and loses his protective mask in the process. Priest hits a big kick to Sheamus's nose, but then Sheamus hits white noise and Jeff breaks this up and then hits a twist of fate. Priest then goes for his finisher. It's all kicking off. Jeff tries to reverse that into a twist of fate, and then they fall over and kind of botch it, and then they have to get up and Jeff hits the move anyway. It's a little bit of an ugly moment in what otherwise was a very enjoyable match. Jeff goes up for the swanton, but Sheamus shoves him off. Then Sheamus goes up top and taunts Jeff Hardy a lot, like he steals his wristy finger motions that we all know the Jeff Hardy thing. Sheamus comes off the top with a diving knee, but it only gets 2. Sheamus then heads back up top and is taunting the crowd a lot during this period of the match, like he's uber confident, but Priest catches him and chokeslams him back down into the ring. He covers him, 1-2. Jeff Hardy flies in with a perfectly timed swanton to break up the pinfall attempt. Priest springboards off the ropes, so Sheamus knees his face off, but Jeff throws Sheamus out the ring and goes to try and steal the pinfall, but Priest kicks out. Sheamus gets back in the ring, hits a bro kick to Jeff, but gets rolled up by Priest from behind for the 3 count, and Damian Priest retains the US title. Priest and Hardy hug it out in the ring, and they're just having a bit of a ball, really. Jeff's doing the arrow shooting motion and everything. Sheamus is not part of the party and looks on angrily from the ramp. Next, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship match between the champion Becky Lynch and the challenger and former champion Bianca Belair. Becky, of course, goes for the handshake to start things off, but Bianca answers with a clothesline. But Becky ducks this and goes for the Uranagi, but Bianca slips out and nearly hits the KOD. Very cool start. Apart from one early disarmer attempt, it's all pretty much Bianca Belair from the start, and Becky's really frustrated about this and snaps at Cole on commentary saying, no, it's fine, I have a plan. Her plan appears to be utilizing Bianca's own hair at various different opportunities in the match to work her way back into things. It's a plan we've seen heels do before, and it seems like Becky isn't above that. But you can't keep Bianca Belair down for long because Bianca Belair is very ludicrously strong, as demonstrated when she takes Becky to Suplex City. Can I say that word? Suplex City, friends. I could probably say it, but I don't want to take any chances with YouTube. There's a nice deadlift snap suplex and a delayed vertical suplex, and man, Bianca Belair is just very impressive. She also hits a big fallaway slam, but Becky gets her foot on the ropes. She then locks in the disarmer, but now Bianca makes the ropes. They struggle back and forth over an armbar attempt at one point until Bianca just decides enough of this, lifts Becky into the air, and crushes her with a big powerbomb for 2. Becky goes for her Uranagi, but Bianca slips out of it and rolls her up, but then Becky rolls through and locks in the disarmer once again. She drags Bianca away from the ropes, so Bianca just stands up and lifts Becky onto her shoulders for the KOD, but she can't hit it because who's this rushing the ring and attacking Bianca Belair? It's Sasha Banks. Sasha beats down Bianca, and Becky's all like, hey, Sasha, thanks, friend. Thank you very much, man. And Sasha's like, yeah, it's all right. No, just kidding. And she attacks Becky as well. Both Becky and Bianca take backstabbers from Sasha Banks, who heads back up the ramp and says, I'll see you two on Friday. Until the DQ finish, which I understand, I get the point of it, it's to protect Becky and Bianca and reintroduce Sasha Banks, but until that moment, I think this was probably my favorite match of the night, and that is not a criticism of the other matches at all, because, it's been a very strong show. I say strong from an in-ring perspective. Obviously, you can still raise questions about the booking here and there, but I think from a wrestling standpoint, yeah, Extreme Rules, pretty damn good. And then we get to the main event. Roman Reigns defending his Universal Championship against Finn Balor. Sorry, the Demon. My name is the Demon, and this is my special demon paint, guys. Sorry for sounding so sarcastic about the Demon, but you'll see why in just a sec. And by the way, just to clarify, actually, before I say anything, I'm a big fan of Finn Balor. He's an immensely talented guy. The Demon thing was cool when he did it in NXT. It was cool when he did it in New Japan occasionally for big matches as well. But something happens at the end of this match. Right, let's just get on with the recap. First of all, commentary are not even acknowledging that Balor is named Finn Balor. They call him the Demon on commentary throughout this match a lot of times. The word demon was said a lot. It's as if Finn Balor doesn't exist, even though he literally has the word Balor painted on his back. Roman Reigns goes for a kendo stick early on, but the Demon gets a special demon kendo stick, and it's loads of kendo sticks taped together. There's about 3 million kendo sticks in there, guys. Look at them all. Balor gets a table from under the ring, and honestly, because this was Extreme Rules and there was only one stipulation match, this one, it gets one of the biggest pops of the night. That table is over. Roman stops him though and slides it back under the ring. He then throws Balor over the crowd barrier and puts on a face mask for this crowd brawl, which is fair enough. They battle up to where the pre-show table is, and Balor, the Demon, leaps off the pre-show table and crossbodies Roman through another table. They head back to the ring, and Roman hits a big Uranagi through another table, but the Demon kicks out. He also kicks out of a Superman punch a few moments later. Paul Heyman fires up Roman, reminding him who he is. You're the head of the table. And Roman's like, I am the head of the table. But Balor avoids the spear. He then sets up Roman in the corner, but Roman explodes out and nails the spear anyway. But the Demon kicks out and low blows Roman as he does so, like Roman usually does to other people, which is a very cool and creative moment. The Demon fires up and hits the coup de grace, but the Usos are there to pull him out of the ring at the last second of the pinfall attempt, but the Demon just batters them and puts Jey Uso through the announce table with a big powerbomb. But then out of nowhere, Roman flies into shot and spears Balor the Demon through the crowd barricade. The Demon is out of it. What's he gonna do? This match is definitely lost. But hang on now, everybody. And that's because, and I swear I'm not making this up, the lights go red and a heartbeat sound plays over the speakers, and Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are like, that's the demon's heartbeat, and it goes doof, doof, and then the demon jerks his body, and then it goes doof, doof, and he jerks his body again, and he's coming back to life, everyone. The demon fires up with the red lights still very much in play, and his music starts playing, like when James Bond is kicking all the bad guys' asses and the James Bond theme starts to play in the background. Balor's music plays throughout him firing up and beating up Roman with a steel chair and getting him in the ring, and it's just, oh man. The demon gets on the top rope and looks for the coup de grace again, but then there's a weird sort of cracking sound or a little mini explosion, and the lights go back to normal, and the top rope has malfunctioned, throwing the demon into the ring and hurting him. The demon is now vulnerable and turns into a spear from Roman Reigns, who covers him. 1, 2, 3, and Roman Reigns is still, with a huge slice of good fortune, the Universal Champion. This was shaping up to be an awesome Extreme Rules main event. It was great. I was getting really excited. The whole spear through the crowd barricade was like the escalation of everything. And then for me, at least, in my opinion, it all went really far-fetched and quite rapidly downhill. The finish was weird too. I guess this was their way to protect Finn Balor from a loss, or protect the demon gimmick from a loss, but it didn't really protect him in my eyes. I think that it was really silly. But again, that's just my opinion. Please let me know what you think in that comment section down below. And hey, let me know what you thought of this show in general, Extreme Rules 2021. This has been What Happened At, and I've been Jack from Cultaholic. And yeah, as I say, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and make sure, everybody, that you stay safe out there, stay positive, and I'll see you very soon.